I wear the sparkles sometimes to give myself the confidence because I look sparkling and dazzling, especially under a stage light. And so it takes a little bit of my own fear and anxiety away because I can glance down and see, wow, I look like a disco ball. So there's no reason to be nervous or totally shy. Hi, my name is Mark and welcome back to the channel. As I'm filming this, it's New Year's Eve and I'm here on Signal Mountain in Tennessee. And I'm wearing a piece that's very important to me for several reasons. This is my sparkle sweater, and I'm not sure if I'm getting a lot of sparkle action right here at this time of day, but I'll be sure to put in another clip so you get the full effect. This is a piece that I was initially nervous to make because it's got sparkles, sequins in it, and traditionally that's not something that someone who looks like me is expected to wear. So I had some mixed opinions along the way as I was working on it, but now that it's finished and I get to wear it out in the wild on my travels, I receive nothing but kind, interested comments from people, whether they're crafters or non-crafters. So all of this leads me to this winter's make along. If you'd like to join me here on the channel for a knit along, a crochet along, focusing on smaller items, I'm not expecting anybody to make a full sparkle sweater, but I want us to use sparkles. Sparkles, sequins, glitter, anything that has a little extra shimmer to get us through the darker days of winter. So if you're interested in hearing more about this sparkle along or anything sparkle related, stick around and let's get into it. If you've been here on the channel before or you've seen me wearing this sweater, then you might have heard parts of this story in the past. I was inspired by one of my knitting mentors, Peg, at Around the Table Yarns in Shaker Heights, Ohio, to make myself a sparkle sweater. 2 or 3 years ago, Peg walked into a holiday party we were having at the yarn shop wearing a beautiful, sparkly, sequined, hand-knit top. And everybody immediately fawned over it, had so many questions, and then she showed us what materials she used, how she put everything together, and immediately we were all up searching the store for our own combination of yarn and sequin runner. And for this original project that inspired me, she used paillettes, a little sequined lace weight runner. The one I ended up using was from the company Lang, held with a sock weight yarn. And there are all sorts of combinations you could do, endless combinations, endless possibilities here, but I was just excited to have something in my wardrobe that had shimmer and sparkle, a little bit of dazzle to it. And originally I thought this project, this sparkle sweater or top, whatever I ended up making for myself, would be something I wear solely for the new year, for holiday parties and celebrations, because I thought that's probably the only time I can get away with wearing something that has sequins in it. Wearing it as a bigger person, wearing it as a man, wearing it in different parts of the world. For example, wearing it here in the Southeast, where maybe not everybody would be on board seeing me in something glittery and sparkly. I think the first place I wore this sweater was Charleston, South Carolina, right after I finished it in December of last year. And I was nervous. I was a little nervous I would get funny looks or people might say things, but I was met with nothing but kindness and interest. A lot of people would smile and just say, I love the sparkle, or something encouraging. And then I had a lot of people who wanted to know more about it. They wanted to know where I bought it, if I made it, how did I make it? Is the sparkle part of the yarn? And so immediately I do what a lot of crafters will do, where you turn it inside out and you show people the back of your work, the wrong side, the stranding of the color work, where you've joined yarn, where you've done any extra techniques that people don't always see. So I always turn this inside out and show people that the main yarn is alone with no sparkle, and then there's a lace weight sequin runner. And typically the conversation that follows is the two of us talking about how everyone should have something sparkly in their wardrobe. So that's what we're doing here today. We're launching a make along for sparkles, a sparkle along, a spark along of sorts. And I don't expect everyone to make a sweater. In fact, I think the target of this sort of make along should be something smaller, something that's attainable, something that won't serve as a huge interruption to the other projects you have on your hook or needles, and maybe something that you're more comfortable wearing. If you're not a sparkly person yourself and you're not sure how sparkle or sequins would work on you, how the people in your life might receive it, or even how you might fit it into your own existing wardrobe, I think having a small accessory could be a great place to start. So to help envision what kind of items you might want to make, the way I used the sparkle in this sweater was to hold the sparkle runner, the sequined paillette runner, along with my main yarn for about 4 rows out of every 10 rows in the top third of this sweater. In the second third, the middle portion, I held the sequin runner for 2 or 3 of those 10 rows. And then in the bottom portion of the sweater, I let it phase out or fade out. So I was only using 1 or 2 rows out of every 10. And I thought that way it looked a little bit like snowfall or rain when things trickle out as they get closer to the ground. So that's an important detail to keep in mind when choosing your sparkle project. It's not that you'll just hold your sparkle along with the main yarn for every stitch of your project. You can use it in select rows, in select portions, to make a more mindful effect. So deciding how much sparkle to use and where to use the sparkle can definitely serve as a design choice. It could also serve as a choice of how much sparkle you want to buy. You may only want to buy or have access to one cone or ball of sparkle, and then you can use it more judiciously throughout the project. So in this case, I used it kind of sparingly. I didn't want the feel of the fabric to be altered by the sequins, and that's a question a lot of people ask. How do they feel? They do feel a little bit plasticky, a little bit cold, and so if you were using a really lightweight fiber held with a large or chunky sequin, you'll feel more of it. In this case, the paillette, the sequins I'm using are pretty small. They're on that lace weight runner. This was fingering weight yarn, so you still feel them. They make a difference in the texture, but if I had used DK or worsted weight yarn, I don't think you'd notice the difference at all. But again, using it sparingly, using it once in every 3 rows or once in every 4 or 5 rows, it's definitely gonna make a different impact than holding it with every stitch of your project. If you really want to sparkle and you really want to shine and reflect that light, then you can use it in every stitch. So I'm excited to see what everyone will do and how different all of these sparkle projects will end up being. I feel like we're getting a little more sparkle now where the sun is hitting. It's fun. I feel special. And actually I wear this often when I'm going to rehearsals. If I have any sort of solo singing responsibilities, with an orchestra or a choir with any of my professional music making, I'll often wear this sweater on the days that I have to get up in front of the orchestra and do my solo work for the first time, because I'm always very nervous, especially to share my voice and hear my voice for the first time with a different ensemble or a different director, a different crew of colleagues. That pressure is on because people don't know me and I haven't proven myself yet, or maybe I don't feel grounded and confident quite yet. So I said to a colleague a couple of weeks ago, I wear the sparkles sometimes to give myself the confidence because I look sparkling and dazzling, especially under a stage light. And so it takes a little bit of my own fear and anxiety away because I can glance down and see, wow, I look like a disco ball. So there's no reason to be nervous or totally shy. All right, now for a look at some options. I picked up my sparkle, my sequin runners from Around the Table Yarns in Shaker Heights, Ohio. If you want to pick up yours there, everything is listed on their website. They ship out daily, but I've also seen a lot of sparkles in local yarn shops in my travels. So if you have a local yarn shop, pop in, see if they have any sparkle or sequin or shimmer. Otherwise, check online and you're sure to find some good options. So in front of us, this is what I've ended up with. I don't think I will use all of this right now for the make along, but I wanted to bring a couple of things home to show you what's out there, the variety, and to have a couple of options for myself as I'm deciding what I'll make for this sparkle along. You'll see with my assortment of things here that I like the monochromatic look. So personally, I like to find a sparkle that I like, that I'm drawn to, a sequin that I like, and then find a yarn that pairs well with it. So I have some options here using Kelborn Woolen's Perennial, which is a lovely sock yarn, a light fingering yarn with some alpaca and nylon in it. And one of my favorite things to do is to hold this yarn double. And then it makes a nice hefty DK or light worsted weight for me. And then I add those sequins in. Some of my accessory ideas include hats. And for a hat, I'm considering the idea of just using the sparkle in the crown and then having the brim be sans sparkle. That way you don't have the texture of it right against your ears, right against your forehead, but then you see it in the crown. And it could be a beautiful design element there. Depending on the pattern itself, I might decide how I pace in the sparkle or if I just use it everywhere. Other projects I might make would be something like a kerchief or a Sophie scarf. And in those scenarios, I think I would use my sparkle everywhere except for the border. So for the Sophie scarf, those I-cord edge stitches, I don't think I'd use the sparkle. That way the I-cord stands out against the texture slightly. There are endless options out there for garments and accessories, and I think many of them can be heightened and elevated by the addition of sparkle. I think it's a really cool design choice. I think it's something that everyone should have in their wardrobe. And for me, someone who didn't think they would really jive with or wear sparkles proudly, it's been one of my favorite things I've ever made. And more than that, one of my favorite things to wear. Now for the logistics of the Sparkalong. This make-along will run from January to February of 2026. So we've got 2 months to work on these projects. So it's not a huge time frame, which is why we're focusing on smaller accessories. You can make anything. It doesn't have to be wearable. It could be something for your home. It could be anything you think of. And I'm really excited to see the range of things people will come up with for this make-along. The best way to stay involved or in the loop for this is to fill out the Google form. I'm going to attempt to link it here at the top of the screen. If nothing pops up there, you can find it in the pinned comment below this video and in the description box. You can fill out that form just to give me your first name, an email address where I can reach you, and a little bit of information about what you think you're going to make. From there, I'll put out a newsletter with information about the official launch of this make-along. I'll have some targeted videos here on the channel for us to enjoy together as we're working on these projects. And then we'll do a couple of group video sessions, either lives or Zooms or meets, where we'll get to talk a little bit about what we're working on together. And something I'd love to include along the way is a sort of virtual fashion show as people are in progress with their projects, and especially when they're complete, if you're willing to submit a video, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. You don't have to talk. I'll take the audio out, but I think it would be really amazing to see the people and the items they're making as we all work on this Spark-along together. I think that's about it for the logistics. If you're thinking about joining us for this Spark-along or even considering it, make sure to fill out that Google form. It'll be how I get in contact with you to let you know when things are kicking off, and so we can all stay connected throughout this make-along. I'm attempting to put another link at the top of the screen. This will take you to some of the sparkles and sequins available from my local yarn shop, Around the Table Yarns in Shaker Heights, Ohio. Again, if you're interested in buying your sparkle there, they'll ship it to you. So you can look to see what you might find there. And I'm really excited to see what everybody ends up with. I'm here on the edge of the mountain. It's a little bit windy, but mostly feels pretty good outside. Again, it's New Year's Eve for me, so I'm excited to head to a New Year's Eve party with some family friends here in Chattanooga and to wear my sparkles, to feel like I get to fulfill my initial plan for my own sparkle sweater. Be sure to fill out that Google form if you have any interest in participating. And as always, let me know what you're working on, what's going on at the start of your own new year in the comments below. I'm really grateful for every one of you who ends up watching these videos, spending any of your time with me, because I think community, especially fiber arts community, is the greatest thing. It's been the greatest gift in my life, and I'm so humbled and blown away by the amount of friends, the amount of love, the amount of support I've received here on this YouTube channel. I've been doing this for just about 2 years now, and it's been a real pleasure. It comes with its own worries and anxieties of talking to a camera and putting a lot of stuff about myself here on the internet, but it's just been a wonderful thing, a wonderful change in my own life. So thank you for helping transform my life and give me such a fire that drives this passion that I have for fiber and fiber arts and fiber people. So I'm excited for us to spend more time together as a community. As always, I'm so grateful that you've chosen to click on the video and stick around here to the very end. If you want to see more of what's going on in my life, whether it's fiber arts or music related, you can find me over on Instagram. You can also find me on Ravelry, and you can find me over on Patreon. On Patreon, we Zoom together 3 to 4 times every month. We have a lot of fun getting to see each other's projects, getting to know each other, and my favorite thing is getting to hear about what people are working on and what's going on with fiber culture all around the world. We have a very international group there on Patreon, which again has surprised me and blown me away, but it's a wonderful, really rich environment and community. So you can find more about that in the description box below or the pinned comment. As always, thanks so much for choosing to be here with me. Happy knitting, happy crocheting, happy crafting to you, and Happy New Year. I hope to see you all soon in the next video. Bye.